Hi everybody, I'm Shonda Miles. I'm a business consultant, business coach. Today I want to talk to you about why a leader needs a journal. Why a leader needs a journal. There's so many benefits to a leader having a journal. But some of the things that I think about is a leader needs a journal because they can write down their thoughts. Most leaders don't have people who can be honest, or people who they can talk to, who they can confide in. And it is very beneficial that a leader can get those emotions out, those issues out, those challenges out on paper. And so leaders, most people think that leaders they don't have issues, that they don't have problems, that they're good all the way around. And in most cases, leaders have issues just like everybody else. They have challenges. They have things that need to be addressed that they have not, for whatever reason. They ignore things. There's just things that need to be resolved. There's things they need to talk out, and a journal helps them do that. So a journal helps a leader get their thoughts on paper. This is effective also because leaders cannot walk around just speaking their mind, just saying whatever they think and feel. They have to think about it beforehand. They have to walk away from the situation and come back with a response. They can't just, be angry and have angry outbursts. They have to figure out how to, what needs to be said, what doesn't need to be said, and they need to be able to handle the difficult conversation. But the only way they can do that typically is to walk away and think about it first. Think about what needs to be said, how it needs to be said, when it needs to be said. And so a journal helps you do that. A journal helps you think on paper. And I think that's the biggest benefit, is a journal helps you think on paper. You can think about it ahead of time. You don't just go all half-cocked. You've thought about it. You put consideration into it before you say what needs to be said. The next thing is they can write down their own ideas. They can write their ideas down. And so leaders typically you have a visionary, they have a lot of ideas. They could capture them in a journal, because we all know that we can't do everything all at once, right? We can't implement all 100 ideas we have. So we can keep a journal, put those ideas down in the journal, and then at the right time, we can, certain times we can, quarterly, monthly, we can revisit those ideas and see if it's something that comes up that maybe we can add into the next quarter or the next year. They can write down their strengths and weaknesses. If you are a self-aware leader, you're constantly evaluating yourself. You're looking at yourself and you're saying, okay, how am I exposed? Like, what's a threat to me? What am I good at? What am I not good at? What do I need support with? Who can I hire for my weaknesses? So leader is constantly thinking about these things, and so they can put it down on paper to constantly be evaluating. They can write down their struggles. And so we're not oblivious to the fact that we all struggle with something, right? We all have issues, things how we handle stress. And so they can use a journal to write down the things that they're dealing with, the things, their struggles, the internal struggles that no one knows anything about and that they can't share with anybody else. So they can use a journal to write down their struggles. They can use it to write down stories or story ideas. And so leaders can motivate and encourage and inspire their people through stories. They can also, do it outside the organization. So they can use a journal to document stories, to capture stories. Every single day they can say, okay, what did I learn today? What story can I capture that I want to remember? What's the point of this story? They can capture it in their journal. So they have everything all in one place. Instead of having on one legal pad here, another legal pad here, they have in a really nice space, a journal to capture all these things that are important to them. They can also rant. So everybody can be petty at some point, and so it's a great place to put your rants, whatever you're upset about, you think is stupid, you think somebody said something stupid or silly or whatever, you think somebody's an idiot or whatever the case may be, somebody acted like a fool, you can put it in your journal. So a journal is great for rants. And then a journal can be used for things that upset the leader, things that frustrate the leader, things that overwhelm the leader. And a lot of times we can keep from telling someone else in the organization who can't handle the truth or who can't handle something, confidential information. They're just not, and you don't know if you can trust somebody. A journal is great for things like that, things that you don't know if you can trust somebody yet with information. You can capture in a journal where, the journal's not going to tell. A journal can be used for pet peeves. It's a great place to put pet peeves. What is it that upsets you? What is it that you don't like? What gets on your nerves? You can put it in a journal. Observations. Journals are great for observations. Things that maybe we reflected, maybe something God gave us, maybe an insight. a journal is great for these observations, and we all should be paying attention. We should be reflecting. We should be looking at people, listening to what people are saying, listening to what they're not saying, looking at their body language, observing. We can be learning from people as they're talking, as they're discussing how they handle things. So a journal is great for this. A journal is great for ways to improve. You can talk to your spouse and they say, okay, I think you really need to work on listening. So a journal is a great place to look at, okay, what do I need to improve? Like, what am I going to work on for quarter one? I'm going to work on improving my listening skills. So maybe I'm going to read books on listening. Maybe I'm going to watch videos on listening. But one of my goals is to work on becoming a better listener. So maybe they say, okay, I'm going to work on listening. This is one area I need to improve. Maybe they have a list of 4 things. Maybe they say, okay, I'm going to replace this bad habit with this good habit, or I'm going to work on this skill, listening. That's going to be the thing I'm going to work on every single day. I'm going to work on becoming a better listener, or becoming a better spouse, or becoming a better parent, or, whatever it is. They have things that they're working on. They're trying to improve. So they capture in a journal. They look at things to do. What are things that they need to do? What's on the list of things that they need to do? They can capture in the journal, then they can transfer it to other places, but they have this running list of things they need to do. Maybe it's personal and professional. A journal is great for goals. So a leader can write down their goals every single day in their journal. Every single day they can write down, what it is that they're working towards, so it can stay top of mind. They can see it, they can see how they wrote it down for X amount of months. They have these metrics in place. They have an action plan. They're working on it every single day. It took them 3 months to accomplish it, but every single day they have their goals. So a journal is great to write down your goals. A journal is great for things to think about later. So maybe you have a day of the week that you spend time thinking. Maybe you have every day as a reflection. You reflect on the day in the evening. You spend a few minutes reflecting. What did I learn? What can I improve? What went well? All these different things. But maybe one day a week you have a question that you're going to think about, or an issue you want to think about. And so every single week you have a think day. And so I learned this from John Maxwell. It's absolutely fantastic. Every single week you have something that you go and you think about. You have your space that you use to think. You have your chair. You have your pen, paper, whatever it is that you're going to use. And you're just thinking. So a journal is, you can use a pen or piece of paper and then transfer it to your journal, or you can journal it, everything that you're thinking about in that journal. But you want to have it eventually, you want to put it in your journal so that you can come back to it. And this is just an organized way to keep everything together. You don't have like all these bunch of legal pads. You have all this scrap paper. You can look at it and it's going to be in your journal. You can capture things that you're learning in your journal, things that you want to remember. A journal is a great place. Like I said, it's a complete system where you can put everything together in one place. All these different things that are important to you can capture in one place. So things you want to remember, things that you're learning, things that you want to apply, you can all put all these different things in your journal. Things that you want to let go of. So I don't have to tell you, not just leaders, everybody, we have things that we need to let go of. And so a journal is a great place to write down the things we want to let go of. We can make a journal entry about it, what's happened, how we feel about it, why we need to let it go, what is it causing us, stress, anxiety, whatever it is. We could just write about the things that we need to let go, and then just take time to write about how we're feeling and what we need to do in order to let it go. But a journal is a great place to capture what we need to let go. And then finally, it's a great place to have a grateful list, things that you can be thankful for. So think about your journal as a place that you can capture all these things that are important to you, what you're thankful for every single day. What are your goals? What are you working towards? What are you learning? How can you get better? But a journal is a great place to have all these different things, so you can come back to it over and over again. You can, you have stacks and stacks of journals over the years, but everything that's important to you, things that you want to come back to, will be in one single place instead of all over the place. So a journal is a great place to capture these things that are important to you and will help you grow to be a better leader year after year after year.